It is all over at Easter Road, it's all over for Aberdeen's title hopes, and it's all over for my gambling career, as a late Hibs goal has screwed me out of 150 quid. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Not too happy about this scoreline, especially, I mean, it's one thing having Hibs pick up a point in the 97th minute, but to do that and cost me 150 quid, not too happy. And also pretty much just hands Celtic a title that they already had two hands wrapped around anyway. So the Aberdeen title fight, don't want to hear it anymore. They're 5 points behind. People can argue it's 2, but we all know Celtic's going to win their next game, and the game after that, and the game after that, and the game after that. So yeah, we all gave Aberdeen credit. We all believed the fairy tale was possible while they were keeping level with Celtic, but now they're not. Now that is back-to-back games where they've slipped up, and again, they weren't good tonight. First half, they were shocking. A bit better in the second half, but I mean, Hibernian as well, they made it easy for Aberdeen at times. Mistake for the goalkeeper allowed Aberdeen to go 2-1 up in front. So I just look at the last two games. You've got Aberdeen against St Mirren, and I get it, that's a tough game in Paisley, I get that, but they lost there. And then again, Easter Road, it's not an easy place to go, but you're taking on the team that is bottom of the table, and you've basically thrown away 2 points. So it is what it is. You take 1 point out of these 5 games, or you take 1 point out of these 2 games, you're dropping 5 points, and for me that means the title is well and truly over now. Celtic have won it, and I did say that I believed, even before Aberdeen lost to St Mirren, I still believed that Rangers were second favourites to get second, and I stand by that. Aberdeen, I think, will fall away. I think it will be close, and I think they could get second, but for me, I do imagine that they'll still finish the season third, because when the games come thick and fast, especially over the Christmas period, the New Year period, you're going to be playing a lot of games, and you get through a big bulk of the season in those few months, December, January, and before you know it, a big lead, like an 8-point lead, that can be quickly overturned. If Rangers win their next game, which isn't guaranteed, but if they do, the gap's already down to 6 points, so that 6 points is nothing. If Rangers beat Aberdeen next time they play them, it's down to 3. So, you know, that gap that Aberdeen did have, that 9-point gap, a few games, and it can quickly be eaten into, and that's what's happened here. So, Aberdeen get a draw, but it's Hibs that will come away, I think, the happier of the two teams, because at first they thought they'd equalise. Well, they did equalise in the 92nd minute, but they thought they'd snatched a point, and then when they conceded in the 95th, that must have been soul-destroying for Hibs and for Davy Gray. I mean, he probably felt like walking home, walking out the club in the 95th minute. Then to snatch the draw in the 97th is phenomenal. Kind of reminded me of an onside kick, if anybody watches the NFL, with the Hibs third goal. All the players just kind of like lined up on the halfway line for the kickoff, and it did genuinely look like an onside kick. If you watch NFL, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you'll probably think, what's he talking about? An onside kick. Well, I just wish one of the Hibs goals was offside, because I wanted to win my bet, but I haven't won it, and it is what it is. The goal scorers, Aberdeen, McGrath got the first, then Devlin with the second, gifted, I think, by the Hibernian goalkeeper. Sokler with the great overhead kick in the 95th minute to win it, or at least we fought to win it. Turns out the game wasn't over. Bashuri equalised in the 96th minute. Before that, it was Cadden with a stunning free kick, and then Joe Newell gave Hibs the lead with the opening goal way back in the 40th minute, which does seem quite a long time ago. But the goals for Cadden and Sokler are two really good goals. I mean, it was a fun game. Obviously, I'm a bit bitter, a bit upset, because I fucking wanted to win some cash, but didn't happen. But it was a good game of football. Tuesday night, you know, cold fucking night in Edinburgh, and I'm sure if you went there, then you got your money's worth. But if you're an Aberdeen fan, you have to be leaving this, because you have to be leaving the stadium knowing that not only do you have like a 3-hour drive, whatever, back to Aberdeen, but the title is gone now. It is. I mean, any hope that you had to keep the gap down to 3 points. And see what happens. But now it's at 5, and like I did say that I believed Aberdeen would drop points before they next played Celtic, and they've done it already. They've done it in their first available opportunity. And who's to say Aberdeen will not drop more points? But even if they don't, even if Aberdeen don't drop more points, next time they play Celtic, if they lose that, they could find themselves 8 points behind. So it just goes to show you how quickly, you know, two teams battling head to head, it can just turn, and all of a sudden, yeah, you know, you lose a few games or you don't win in a few games, and when you're against a Celtic side that's constantly winning, you will quickly fall behind. So, I mean, it is what it is. Jimmy Thielen did make, you know, changes. He brought on Morris, and pretty much within like 30 seconds, Morris contributed with the Aberdeen equaliser. So, I mean, I thought it was going to be Jimmy Thielen working his magic again. Thielen tinkering and making the impact subs. I thought it was going to pay off. Not once, but twice. It looked like Aberdeen done enough to win it in the 76th minute. Then everybody thought they'd won it in the 95th minute, but it wasn't to be. As a draw, the fair result. I mean, probably, obviously Aberdeen will be upset because they were the team that was winning twice late on, but I mean, it would be hard to say that Hibs didn't deserve something from this game. I think that they probably did. In terms of shots, Hibernian had 21, Aberdeen had 15, shots on target was 4 for Hibernian, 6 for Aberdeen. So you can see there, despite Hibs having, you know, quite a few shots more on target, despite Hibs, having more shots in general, Aberdeen had more on target, so just being more accurate. Shots off target was 10-1 to Hibs, so crazy how inaccurate Hibs can be in front of goal. But, you know, they were accurate 3 times tonight, and it was enough times to get a draw. Normally, if you score 3 goals, you win a game, so I mean, I guess from that perspective, maybe both teams will be a little bit upset that they didn't win. But in the end, I think the team that equalises is always the happier of the two. And to consider that Hibernian equalised twice in injury time, you know, they'll be content with this. It'll probably feel more like a win for Hibernian than a draw. But how would Hibs be feeling if they never got that third goal and Aberdeen got the win on the 95th minute? You know, it would have been such a, you know, swings and roundabouts. So Hibs would have been down and out. But it's a good point for Hibs. Not such a good point for Aberdeen, who really, like I said now, have just lost ground on Celtic. They're 2 points behind, but Celtic have a game in hand and will be looking to go 5 in front. Aberdeen are now 9 in front of Rangers, but Rangers have that game in hand, which is they're not guaranteed to win because we know they're playing shite at the moment, but I think you'd probably favour Rangers. I don't know who that is. It's St Johnstone. I expect Rangers to win that. It's not a guarantee, but I think they will win that and cut the gap down to 6. And at the bottom of the table, Hibernian go level with Hearts. So it's 2 teams locked at the bottom of the table. Hearts have the better goal difference, but not by much, by 1 goal. Hearts are sitting on -9. Hibernian are sitting on -10. So pretty much nothing in it. Both teams have played 14 games each. So quite incredible that Hibs and Hearts just cannot be separated, and the 2 Edinburgh clubs don't belong down there. And both of them are 3 points off Kelly of a game in hand. If you take away Kelly, both Hibs and Hearts are 4 points behind St Johnstone and 6 points behind Ross County, who have both played the same amount of games as. So I mean, it's not a lot, but it's still it's still a decent cushion that County and St Johnstone have, and you know, sooner rather than later. If Hibernian and Hearts don't put a good run together, I mean, how long do we give it before we say that they are in a relegation fight? I think people are already assuming that Hibernian will be, and I think you'd be right to assume that because they look like a team that could definitely finish bottom. But most people are giving Hearts the benefit of the doubt, saying that they'll kick on, they'll start picking up points. Let's say they don't. Let's say in a month's time, let's say we play another 4 or 5 games, we get to the halfway point of the season. Let's say Hearts are still down in the bottom 2 with Hibernian, and there's still like a 4, 5, 6 point gap to the likes of County and St Johnstone, the teams you expect to go down. How much longer do we have to wait until we acknowledge that, wait, maybe there is a genuine threat here that Hearts could go down? And we'll have to wait and see. I don't think that's going to be the case, but sooner or later he needs to start picking up points, Critchley. You can't just keep saying we're too good to go down, we're too good to go down, because we've seen, and it doesn't happen often, but we have seen times before where there is teams that we believed were too good to go down and that we thought would, you know, always come good, and sometimes they don't. So yeah, Hibernian, it's a point for them, puts them level with Hearts. Point for Aberdeen, doesn't really do much for them, to be honest, and we'll see what happens on the weekend. But up next, it's Champions League, Europa League and Conference League. Rangers, Celtic, Hearts, all representing Europe, so we'll see how that goes on Wednesday and Thursday night. But that's it. David Gray, I'm sure he'll be happy about this. Probably wanted to win, obviously, but you know, this does kind of feel like a win after trailing twice in the dying minutes. So aye, that's it guys, let us know your thoughts. I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.